Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Explode Your Expert Business Show. And today is a special episode because I'm actually doing a special solo episode for my 32nd birthday. Hey, happy birthday to me. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So yesterday, as the moment of this recording, or where we are live right now, my Facebook page, Simone Vincenzi, was my 32nd birthday. And today I woke up and decided to write an article which I published on LinkedIn called 32 Things I've Learned in 32 Years on this Planet. They are about business, they're about personal development, they're about personal growth, and they are all core lessons that made an impact in my life and helped me arrive to this level where we have three different companies, employees in our business, where we have built a community with thousands of people and running more than 2,000 speaking engagements, having, like, you name it, literally we've done a bit, almost like everything here in this industry. And I sat down and reflected on my learnings, and that's what I want to share with you today. So I'm not going to go into details in every single one, otherwise we will be here literally for hours. But we are going to go through a fair amount of them, and if you see me looking down, it means I'm actually going to share this on Facebook or the other platform, or as well I'm sending this, I'm responding to the questions, which actually, if you have any question as well, while I'm recording my solo episodes live from my page, feel free to jump on my page as well and always ask me the questions that that you have, so we can get going. So let's get started with the 32 things that I've learned on 32 years on the planet. Start from the first one, which is commitment wins the game. And I would love to stop here for a moment because, yes, indeed, commitment wins the game. Commitment is what made the difference in everything I did, from the catering industry, where I started working at 14, and at 19 I was managing my first Michelin star restaurant, in the event space, where I had my first gig with in front of 1,000 people with Les Brown when I was 26, and at the time I already run more than 300 events. And in the basketball court as well. Now I'm playing the second division in the National League, despite being pretty short and definitely not the best player in the team, but I'm there. And that is commitment, because if you are committed in what you're doing and you commit to the process, whether it's training, whether it's improving, whether we're always looking at what can I do next that can make the difference, then is where you win the game. And that's actually, I think, is why the games I won because of my commitment, which is second to none. So that's the first one. Let's go to the next one, which is life. Life is a competition with myself. I like that one because, yes, life is indeed a competition with myself. I'm just sharing this in the other group. There we go. Done. So yes, life is indeed a competition with myself, with no one else. I love to compete. I love to win in particular, and I love to compete with others. But at the end of the day, if you're always focusing on others and what others are doing, you'll never be really owning what you can do. So that's why I believe that life is a competition with myself. The third one is be kind to others, and others will be kind to you. The moments in life where I've not been nice to people is the moments in life where I had other people not being nice to me. So I always make an effort to try and understand as much as possible what others are doing, why others are making certain choices, why others are making certain decisions. So then I can be compassionate, I can understand others, and I can be kind. Most of the time, I'll do my best to make this work. Sometimes I gotta be stroppy and my Italian fiery nature comes out, but that doesn't mean that we can't be kind to others, even to those people that are not kind to us. That's a big reminder for me. Another one is because you have integrity. This is the one. Because you have integrity, it does not mean that other people have it too. That's another big one, and I think that one is particularly important because I go into business deals, and when I meet people, I go into situations where I think that people are going to be fair with me just because I'm fair with other people. And that created some problems in the past because I trusted too easily. Trusted way too easily. And because you have integrity doesn't mean that other people have it too. So always do your due diligence. That's a bigger learning I got. No matter which situation you're in, no matter if it sounds good or you get great recommendations from someone else, always do your due diligence, because that's where things are really going to that's where you can really see how things are working. Let's go for another one. Hope for the best, be prepared for the worst. Number 5. I love this one. Hope for the best, be prepared for the worst. Historically, I'm always been the kind of person who hope for the best. And I will put all my eggs on the table. I will put all my eggs in one basket. I will just say, okay, this is gonna work, but never had a plan is what am I going to do if actually the first thing I'm doing doesn't work. And a lot of time I got burned because of that. Either I lost money, I wasted time, I got in business with the wrong people, you name it. And having now, I'm reminding myself, okay, so this is the best case scenario. What is the worst case scenario? Am I prepared for that? Am I comfortable with the worst case scenario? Because it means that whatever happens, I can now be open. I have my intention, but I can now be open to whatever happens and do the best I can to be prepared for it. Of course, times is easier, other times a bit more difficult. I will see. That's part of the process. Let's look at the other one. Master your craft above all. That's number 6. Master your craft above all. There are a lot of, I'm going to be brief on this. There are a lot of people that what they're doing, they're focusing on the end results and not on the craft. And one of my principles is to become so good that others can't ignore you. And to do that, you got to master your craft. When I decided to become a public speaker and run events, I wanted to become the best, and also I had to master my craft in speaking and running events. Now we are in the we stopped running events because of COVID. Then we are starting, we moved everything online. We had stuff online before, but we moved everything online, and so I had to master my craft in the online space, and something that now I'm fully committing to take it to another level, because before what I needed to do in the online world was to get people online and take them offline and do our magic that we do at live events. But now the online world is a different game. The tension that people get is different. The distractions that people have are different. So master your craft above all and you'll get the results. Number 7, become so good that others can't ignore you. So that builds on master your craft. If you become incredibly great at what you're doing, you will never have problems. And because other people will see it in you, and finding great people is rare. Finding people that are great at what they're doing is incredibly rare. And if you're one of them, guess what happens? You're rare, therefore you will always have opportunities. So become so good that people can't ignore you. Number 8, discipline is stronger than talent. You can be talented at something, you can be great in something, but if you're not disciplined, and I think that has been one of the biggest thing that brought our success at GTeX is a discipline that we have been put in day in and day out of running the podcast. 300, this is more like 300, episode 303, 304 by the time we're doing this one. We have events, run more than 1,000. The work that we did with certain events like our Explode Your Expert Business Intensive, our signature 3-day training that we're running now online, where we're helping our clients creating an offer and launching it in 3 days. We're doing more than 31 editions of that one. So it's the discipline of doing things over and over again so you can become better. Number 9, work to become the best and you will be better than most. This is a reminder for me because I want to be the best in everything. And what I work in is to be the number 1 in whatever I do. That's what I work for. But to become the number 1, the absolute number 1 in something, there are a lot of people on the planet. So my aim is to be the number 1, and I know that by being the number 1 or by working towards being the number 1, I will be better than most. Let's go into another one, which is number 10, environment stronger than willpower. This is a great lesson learned from one of my mentors, Clinton Swain. Told me a lot about public speaking and about business. And he mentioned that environment is greater than willpower. If you are in an environment where people are fit, you're more likely to become a fit person. If you are in an environment where people are having their own businesses, you're more likely to start your own business. If you're in an environment where people can't read and write, you're more likely not to be able to read and write. So no matter how strong you can be, your environment will shape who you become. So take care of your environment. Number 11, make time for your family or work will always be there. Big one. Big one for me. Big one for me in particular because I've not been, I can get sucked in into the world of work. I can get sucked in into the world of work, forget about anything else. And that comes back. That's always comes back. And I remember reading this book called The 12-Week Year. Incredible book about life planning, about productivity. And one of the things that he mentioned is that work is always going to be there. Family, relationship, if you don't nurture them, if you don't make time for them, they will fall apart. Now, he's not saying that you don't need to dedicate time at work, but for people that are obsessed by work and that's all they do, then they neglect their health, they neglect the important relationship, and then one day they wake up and say, but why no one loves me? It's like, why am I on my own? Well, you're on your own because you have pushed away everyone else for the sake of your work. So, big reminder for me about how I'm living and leading my life. Let's go to another one. It takes 5 times longer and 5 times more money. Whatever you're going to do, it takes 5 times longer and it takes 5 times more money. And if I'm going hoping for the best, which is gonna work well the first time, but being prepared for the worst, I might be willing to spend 5 times more and take 5 times longer. That goes back to it. Number 13, take care of your money will take care of you. A lot of time I forgot, I neglected my money, I neglected what I was, I neglected the things that were actually really important, and that came back with problems, because then it means that it meant that in that moment I was just hoping that money would come, or I would not taking care of it, I would not check it, I would not save it, and money didn't seem to stick around. But the moment where I really took an eye for where is my money going, where is my money coming, then money started flowing even more because I paid attention to it. I paid attention with the moment of building a relationship with money. So it's really important. Let's look at 14. Save first, spend later. This big one, great book called The Richest Man in Babylon. A lot of personal finance book. My wife was a big part of it, helping me understand that every time I've got some money, put it away first and then spend what's left. That's a great way also to run your business. There's a great book called Profits First. And what they're saying is the gist of the book: take the money out first, operate with what's next, with what's left, and you will find that you will always have enough money. Number 15, spending things that are important for you. That's number 15. Spending things that are important for you. The rest is noise. It's easy to get complacent when, in particular, when you have a bit of money. Say, oh, let me buy this, let me buy that, just because you have it. I remember when I started my business with £5, sometimes I had £5 to spend in a week. And I would spend £5 in a week. Other times, when it's like, okay, I can spend a few thousands this week, then it's different. It's a different game. And so just because you have it doesn't mean that you have to spend it. But you can spend a lot in the things that are important for you. Just don't waste money in things that are not important. Like sometimes I will spend money in lunches out where we could cook at home and save a lot of that money and do something that was much nicer, or more important to us. Let's look at number 16. People are envious of what they wish they had. You will find that the more successful you will become, the more envy you will attract, because you might represent what someone wish they had but they cannot have. And I have some people that either came out to me and say, hey, I couldn't stand you because you built what I've tried to build in a few years, what I've tried to build for 20 years, and I wasn't able to make it, and you came out of the park and did that. I appreciate the fact that they told me, but there is nothing to deal with me. I'll do me. But it's important as well to understand that other people, everyone has their hopes, has their dreams. And if you have something that other people are working really hard to have or to build, and you have it and they don't, some might be resentful. Actually, some of them might be resentful. So be prepared for that. Number 17, trust but don't be complacent. Trust but don't be complacent. If you trust the process and if you trust people, it's great, and I always trust people first. But trusting doesn't mean, like sometimes I did, take a complete step back and neglect everything else that is happening. And neglect the fact that I need to check what they're doing. The fact that they might not fulfill the things that I got them to do or what they say they were going to do, just because I trust them. So trust them, but also keep an eye. Like, don't become complacent, and then you will never be caught off guard. Someone has said, "Oh, I didn't expect this to happen. It was such a lovely person." Well, the signs were there if you were looking for it. If I think about all the times where I fell into this trap of just trusting blindly, then it was because I didn't do my due diligence properly. Then we have number 18. What you stop working on will stop growing. What you stop working on will stop growing. And on top of that, what you stop working on will start declining. If you are stop working on your health, then you will not, it's not that your health will stay the same, your health will decline. If you stop working on your money, on your sales, it's not that your money will stay the same, it will decline. So remember that whatever you stop working on, it will go down, it will depreciate. So still look at the things that are important for you in your business and in your life, and then really actively, as long as you keep them active, going on consistently. Smaller and consistent is better than one and a lot. Okay, so small and consistent wins the game. Then we're going number 19. Health is your biggest asset. Oh, I don't think I need to spend more time on this. If you're not healthy, you're not going to be productive. You're not going to stick around to serve your client, to serve your family, to be there for your community. Health is the biggest asset that you have. Number 20. People that love you unconditionally are rare. Keep them around. In particular, when you reach a certain level of success, people will want something from you. People will want something, they will engage with you because you represent for them an access point, a door to something else. And that's okay, that's fine. But at the same time, the people that are just there for you because of you and not because of the money that you have or the list that you have or the business that you have or the clients that you have or the lifestyle that you have, then they are rare. So keep them around because you always need them. I mean, I got a few people, got 5 or 6 people in my life that I know they are there no matter what. And they were there before, they've been there during, and I know maybe they will be there after, hopefully. I cannot control that, but the trend is there, and I know they have my best interest in their mind, not what, they don't have a second agenda. They're living their life, they're good. They don't want anything from me. They just want to be able to support me, and I want to do the same. So it's very rare and precious. Let's go on number 21. Actions speak louder than words. Always look at some people's actions, what they do, not what they say. What they do is more powerful because what they do, it will represent what they really think, and it will represent also their set of beliefs. They will represent the way they're seeing the world and what they're doing. Number 22. Don't judge people until you meet them. Don't judge people until you meet them. Sometimes I met some people that I said, oh my god, like this person, really? And you know when you're like, your judgment kicks in different ways. I met some people that I didn't think they had money, where actually they were stashed of cash, and they ended up being some of our best clients. And other people that they were looking the part, and then there wasn't much substance going on after the initial conversation. And so let them like meet people, get to meet them, and once you meet them, you see their action, and then you can form your opinion. But be as open-minded as possible until you meet someone. And that goes as well with maybe people that you don't you hear rumors, right? In particular, like in this industry, like in any industry, there are people like, have you seen what this person did? Have you seen what that influencer did? Oh, they post this on Facebook. Oh my God, how dare them? And a lot of time our response is, I don't know. I don't know them. I don't know what they wanted to say. I don't know them personally. I don't know their ideas. It might be that you're right. It might be that you're wrong. And I always keep an open mind until I meet that person. Of course, I will listen to what others are saying. I ain't stupid. But I want to keep an open mind. Because a lot of people, sometimes they hear what the other person said and what the other person said, which is completely different. And that's also something that happened to me a few times, where something I said got translated so far that some people formed an opinion, but because they actually didn't check with me, it was nothing like what I wanted to express. So probably that happened to you as well. So that's why it's important. Number 23, take feedback from people that know what they're talking about. Everyone is an opinion. Opinions are cheap. Real feedback from someone who knows what they're talking about is priceless. So don't listen to opinions, or listen to some opinions, but always listen to feedback of the person that matters to you and they know what they're talking about. Number 4, opinions are cheap and everyone and their dog is one. Goes with the same one, don't listen to many opinions. Number 25, trust your team. This is a big one. I'm a bit of a control freak, and I like to just get things, doing things myself. That's what I really loved. And it was difficult to let go and to be able to trust other people that they were going to do a great job. And now I will not hire someone that I will not trust them to do a great job, which means it will take me a bit longer to hire them, but I know the moment they are in that they are the right person. And so, of course, things can change. Of course, they can always prove me wrong, but I will be at a position where I can fully trust them. And by giving trust to your team, they will be empowered to make their choices and also to be more creative in the work that they do instead of being suffocated. That's something I had to deal with because sometimes might have been, that's what some people said, a bit suffocating, micromanaging stuff. And I've been working really hard, in particular last year, on that. Let's go on number 26. You don't know how long people will be in your life for. Life is short. Life is really short. I had people around me that died. I had people around me that had family members that died. Man, life is short. Life is damn short. And if you have someone that you care about, maybe it's some of your family, some of your friends, you never know what's going to happen to them. So keep the relationship alive. Do your best you can to give them time, because you never know. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Number 27, be honest with yourself and others will be open to you. It starts from you. It starts from you. A lot of times people say, but how do you make so many sales and you get great conversions, or you have a great relationship with the clients? But it's because we are open and honest. That's how we build relationship, is to drop the mask, is to be there to share what's going on really in our lives. And by doing so, then we can be fully honest and with others, and others will be open to us in return. The moment I've always been open and vulnerable is most of the time where I got openness back and that trust was built. Very few people, there are some, but there are very few that will manipulate that openness, and now they know they have a crack. But having that openness first, and that's something that actually is quite difficult for me. I need to really pay attention because I love to be protected. I don't want really people to know what my fears are or what my problems are, because I always want to show that I'm keeping it together. And so it is an effort. And I remember there is a great book from Brené Brown, like all the books from Brené Brown around the work of vulnerability. They are absolutely awesome, so check them out. Then we are going to 28. We are almost there. We got 4 more. Take time for yourself and don't get sucked in the world of work. That goes a big reminder for me. I tend to be a workaholic. I love working. Sometimes I can work 15, 16, 17 hours a day. And I will leave little time for other stuff. Um, it is important to have a life, even if you have a business. That's what I've decided for me. Of course, everyone, you're free to make your decisions. I'm talking about my biggest learnings. And instead of working every single hour under the sun, I can take 2 hours off to go and play basketball in the court next to my house. And the word is still gonna be there. Like, for example, yesterday was my birthday from this live stream. And yesterday was my birthday and I went to play basketball. Loved it, had a great time. I had a lot of stuff to do, but I decided to treat myself. Finished the work at 4 o'clock. It's actually, I had a chat with my brother-in-law. And in the morning, he wished me happy birthday. And he said, so what are you going to do today? And I said, well, I'm going to have a day of light work. And he interrupted me and said, so basically you're just going to work like someone else, like a normal person. And, I don't know if that makes me sad or makes me committed, but having that time or this moment throughout the week where I'm saying, you know what, let's stop here, let's go do something different. That becomes really important because I find that I charge my batteries and I'm more productive in other stuff. 29, love is different from passion. Love builds with consistency. This is big in relationship. Love is different from passion. I thought before getting married and committing to my actually first long-term relationship now. Before, my relationship was less than a year before getting married. And they all started with a great passion. Now, I'm Italian, I'm passionate. I can lose my mind for someone and have this like crazy romantic love. I'll do anything for you. And then it fades because if routine kicks in and normality kicks in, that passion that started is not as there it was before for a bunch of different reasons. And so real love, I think that's what I'm discovering at the moment, is being able to appreciate the day to day. It's being able to be with someone and love them even when even if that day, maybe the passion is not there. I found that sometimes that passion comes and goes after a period of time. And it is, and that's where love comes in. The fact that I want to be with this person because of who they are, because of the beauty that they have, because of the things that they say, the things that they do for me. And that's where real love is for me at this stage. I don't know if this is real love. I'm making it up. But that's what it feels like to me. Next year, if something changes, I'll let you know. If I have another idea of love. But right now, that's what real love is to me. Number 30, I have a sense of urgency or things will not get done. There are some projects that I've been sitting on my arse on that I really want to complete. And I've not done them. Why? Because I've not created a sense of urgency enough for me to get this done. Like our next book. Been sitting around for 2 years. I've done a lot of other stuff in 2 years, built multiple companies and so on, but the book didn't get done. And the sense of urgency that was missing. If I think about all the other projects I did, giving myself a very tight deadline, work my ass off, reap the benefits, let's go. Work on the next project. So with a bit more balance, but a sense of urgency is important. 31. Keep your mind as clear as possible when you're facing challenges. That's number 31. During COVID and during this time, during times of high stress where things are changing, it's easy to feel like you're pulled in so many different directions instead of feeling certain, instead of feeling strong, instead of feeling calm. And that's where I think meditation, working out, all these things that you can do for yourself or taking time off, they can help you having a calmer mind so you can make a less reactive decision and more proactive decisions. So that's why number 31 is keep your mind as clear as possible when you're facing challenges. And number 32, last one, the bigger the game, the bigger the challenge, but the greater your ability to face them. So the bigger the game, the bigger the challenge, but the greater your ability to face them. And this number 32 is really important because sometimes we get into, maybe you start a business or we get into a product or partnerships or something that we know we want, like we want to play a bigger game. And with any game, the bigger it gets, it's not that the challenges are not there anymore. So the challenges are getting bigger than before. And that's something we realize even like we're growing the company and like from, from 0 to half a million, it wasn't that the 500,000 problems, that when we reached 500,000 we had no problems just because the money was there or because we made that money. Actually, we had £500,000 problems. Right? We didn't have £5 problems anymore. We had £500,000 problems. So problems get bigger, but your ability, the process to get to that point, it makes you stronger. Makes you able to handle what before, maybe it was a problem that you were stressing out so much, now becomes super quick. It's like, okay, let me get it done in 5 minutes. So your ability to bounce back is much quicker. So that's number 32. The bigger the game, the bigger the challenge, but the greater your ability to face them. So that's it. These are my 32 lessons in these 32 years on the planet. Thank you very much for watching. If you're watching live on my Facebook page, Simone Vincenzi, let me know what is your favorite lesson. I've attached as well, either in the live stream or in the podcast, I've attached the link to the article, to the LinkedIn article. So go there, click the link, and let me know what lesson resonates the most with you, and let's keep the conversation going. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for watching, or thank you for listening. Remember to subscribe to Explode Your Expert Biz show, and also leave a review if you like this episode. Let us know what you enjoyed the most. And reviews help a lot the show, so make sure you leave a review so that we can expand the show. The show will be seen by more people and we can support and change more people's life. That's why we are here. And if you find that this episode is relevant to you, you want to send it to a friend and say, actually, hey, this is someone that, these are some 32 lessons you can learn in your life, then share them with your friend. Really appreciate it. That's it from me. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time. And always remember that together we grow exponentially. Ciao.